So today's talk, because we're right here in the midst of the holidays, I want to go over how healthy and fit women think and go over some mindset tips on how to stay consistent without trying to strive for perfection, because this is what derails so many women, because they think that everything has to be so perfect because they're on a plan, and that is not realistic or sustainable, especially in this holiday season. So I want to say that the women that are in this program that are just starting their healthy habits for the first time are just trying to stay consistent for the first time. This is a very unique and challenging time of the year, not only for you, but also for the people who've maintained healthy habits for many years. Okay. The healthy and fit women. This is such a very unique and challenging time of the year for everyone, all of us. So I don't want you to think that the difficulty that you face during this season is special to you. Like maybe I'm the one that's struggling with this. Why can't I get this right? Why can't I stay consistent? Because we are all challenged during this time of year with the same situations, like with the family gatherings, with all the food that's present, with all the time constraints, with all the responsibilities. So I don't want you thinking that the challenges that you're facing is only for you. It is all of us. Okay. Now, the difference between a healthy and fit woman mindset versus someone who is still struggling to adopt that mentality is that healthy and fit women have embraced that even when life is messy or chaotic or busy, that we still navigate and create consistency. Now, even though I say that, the healthy and fit woman still creates consistency through the chaos and busy, but it might not look the same on a normal season. So I want to talk about that. So there is suspicious. Why can't I talk tonight? Mary? Oh my gosh. Specific. It's because my Louisianian is coming out.
I hear it.
Specific mindset shifts that I want to go over from a healthy and fit woman's mindset. Okay. Number one is progress over perfection. And what that means is that healthy and fit women know that small, consistent efforts add up to big results. Small, consistent efforts do not derail us, or an off day does not derail us because we have the small, consistent efforts in place. So it doesn't have to be some drastic, I've got to get all my workouts in, I've got to make sure that I eat clean every meal, I got to make sure that, all these very demanding or very big tasks, especially in this season. If we just create non-negotiables, and we'll go over what those, like what non-negotiables are, and we'll talk about that. But if we stay with our small, consistent efforts, and we know that one day of having some treats or several days of not doing workouts does not derail us. It does not derail us. That is the mindset that we hold on to, because we know that this is who we are, and that the next available opportunity, we're going to be right back at it. If it's workouts, if it's picking up our normal foods our yogurts, Karen, from the store. Like, this is just something that we get consistent with, and it's just our go-to. It becomes who we are. It becomes natural. And so even during the season, we're like, oh, well, I know I'm gonna get right back on it because this is who I am, and I'm just gonna pick right back up my next workout. I'm gonna pick right back up with my normal foods that I pick up. It's just natural. Number 2, focus on the big picture here. Focus on the big picture, because we've all committed to making this our lifelong journey. So that means that it's not a sprint. That means that we can expect, especially in the month of December, November and December are some of the 2 hardest months of the year for consistency and for weight loss and even building muscle because of consistency. So remember that you're definitely expecting like very fast results right now is not realistic. So we want to set ourselves up into the big picture. The big picture is how do I want to see myself? How do I want to feel in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years? Because what we do today, the small consistent steps, is creating that version of us, and it takes that amount of time. So if we wait 10 years to start working on ourselves, then we're creating the version 10 years from there. So what we're doing today, each week, each month, in the bigger picture is what's creating that person in the future. So missing some workouts, missing or eating treats, that's not taking away from that 10-year person or that 5-year person or that 1-year person. That's not taking away. So we know that as a healthy and fit woman, some of these things that we are going to enjoy at this time of the year, or we might be missing some workouts, is not the majority of our habits. It's not the majority. It's just a small piece of the bigger picture, and it's okay that we are flexible with ourselves. Number 3 is being realistic about what's achievable. Being realistic about what's achievable, especially with the women who are very high achievers, driven, OCD, not really technically, I'm just saying, very checklist kind of thing. We might put a lot of expectation on what is actually achievable, that we miss the mark because the expectation is too high. So understand that consistency doesn't mean sticking to that perfect plan. And so what that means is we have to adapt to the life circumstances that we're dealing with. So right now we have holiday time, but this is with any scenario. But holiday time right now, if somebody said, if I can't do it, if that's workout, if that's getting meal preps, groceries order in, if that's whatever, if I can't do it, then I'm going to do nothing. That is not how a healthy and fit woman thinks, right? But so many of us do that. So many women that I see will say, well, I'm not going to be able to get my workout in today, so I'm not going to do any of it. But maybe it might look different. Maybe because of the season, maybe you could do a 15-minute walk, or maybe you could do a 10-minute upper body workout. We have a plan in place, especially, for the workouts and stuff, but it might look different per week depending on the circumstance that we're dealing with. But let's do something. A healthy and fit woman will think, well, it's better for me to do something than nothing. So what does that look like? She will ask these powerful questions so she can achieve the things that she identifies with, and then she moves on. Number 4, self-compassion. Healthy and fit women have self-compassion. Shaming ourselves for missing a workout or a few, or shaming ourselves for indulging on some treats is it's not gonna help you sustain this life, because this is gonna be a never-ending circle of shaming and putting yourself down in guilt. The guilt trips that you'll be giving yourself if you constantly tell yourself negative things about yourself because you feel like you're not doing good enough. You're not going to sustain this journey, these habits, this lifestyle. When I have, for example, when I have a day where I overindulge, which is I do, and then I'm like, okay, moving on, accepting, moving on to the next day, moving on to the next meal. I do not beat myself up. I do not. Because if I did, I could not show up who I am every day if I am stealing my self-esteem, my self-worth, my self-confidence by guilt tripping myself. I wouldn't be able to show up authentically. And then eventually I wouldn't be able to show up at all because I'm too busy talking so negative to myself that I can't accomplish the goals that I want, accomplish the career that I want, accomplish the life that I want, because I'm not allowing myself to do so. So we have to be our biggest advocate. We have to be kind to ourselves. Consistency comes from kindness, not punishment. So if we feel like we're not doing good enough, we should never try to punish ourselves with words or punish ourselves with restriction. Like, oh, I did terrible last night at that restaurant, so I'm not going to eat it all today. I'm going to eat one meal tonight. That's punishment. And that creates a negative relationship with food, and that creates a low self-worth pattern. Because you are worthy to eat. You do deserve to eat. You are a woman who deserves to be nourished and taken care of. So that's how we have to treat ourselves. So if we do, go balls to the wall on chips and salsa. Oh, remember when I used to talk about chips and salsa all the time, Mary? I still love chips and salsa. I used to talk about But if I go balls to the wall on chips and salsa, I'm not gonna try to punch myself the next day. I've never said I'm not gonna eat breakfast because I ate too much chips and salsa yesterday. I've never done that. I'm gonna eat that dang breakfast. I'm gonna eat my eggs. I'm gonna eat my fruit. I'm gonna eat healthy because I have to nourish myself. And then I'm gonna show up for my workouts because I deserve to stay strong. I deserve to stay fit. And that's how I want you to appreciate what you're capable of. And you are capable of showing up at the gym or showing up at home in your workout section. Mary, showing up in your little workout section. But you are capable, and you are blessed that you have that capability and the way to do it. Maybe you have your equipment, maybe you have a gym membership, maybe you have all your limbs. Okay, maybe you have your health that you can do it too. Because so many people don't have that, and we are blessed to have that. So we should do it. We should work out because we can. We should eat healthy because we can. Because our body deserves to be taken care of. Practical tips. I'm gonna just go over really quickly about practical tips, and then I'm gonna ask some questions. So when in doubt about can you get a workout done, and especially I'm talking about this season that we're in, the holiday season, the next 2 weeks-ish, okay? Shorten your workout if you need to. If you have a doubt, just shorten it. Just, you know what? Even if you don't want to shorten the workout you already have, then just do a walk. check something off. Something is always better than nothing in a healthy and fit woman's life. Okay. If you don't feel good, then just walk. Or do a stretch. Pull up a yoga video, do a 20-minute stretch. It helps you feel so much more accomplished. Number 2, focus on simple nutritional wins. Keep things simple. If we get so caught up on how we have to follow a plan or we have to make sure we have food for the whole week, especially during the season, it can be very overwhelming. Keep nutrition simple. Focus on proteins, easy proteins like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, hard-boiled eggs, rotisserie chicken. These are just easy proteins that you could just have available for you, very quick and easy. Snacks on hand. We really shouldn't be in situations where we don't have some kind of food with us, because we might create a too long of a break from eating, and then we're going to trigger things. We're going to trigger things that we might not want to deal with. We'd be really hungry and then overeat on our next time. So snacks on hand, that could be so easy, like nuts, fruit, things that you can throw in your purse, bars, like protein bars, nut bars. Super easy. Just have something available in your purse. That's what healthy and fit women do. I want you to ask yourself that question. What is the simplest way that I can achieve this week nutritionally? What is the simplest way that I can nourish my body and stay in alignment with who I want to accomplish? And your answer should come to you. What's the easiest way for me to make this possible this week? It does not have to be complicated. Number 3, we as healthy and fit women, we have non-negotiables. So number 3 is use non-negotiables to stay grounded. Healthy and fit women have non-negotiables. Now, there are different non-negotiables maybe per week, but so for example, some non-negotiables, I'm always going to have water with me. That is a non-negotiable. If you see me, you go see some water. Okay. That is something that is not going to ever change. Also, I'm going to get some movement in. If it's one workout that week, it'll be one workout, but I build my plan to where I have opportunity throughout the whole week to get movement in. So if I don't get them all in, I'm at least usually getting 3 in, but I am getting movement in every week. Every week, that is a non-negotiable. Okay. So I need you as a healthy and fit woman to ask yourself, what are some non-negotiables that are absolutely off the that you're not going to sacrifice? I'm going to have water. I'm going to get some movement in. And I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat my meals. Nobody gonna say Summer gonna skip a meal, because Summer don't skip meals. I'm not gonna skip a meal. No. If I'm gonna skip a meal, I'm gonna have a bar in my purse and I'm gonna be eating that bar. Or I'm gonna be stopping at a convenience store because I didn't bring my food with me, and I'm gonna be getting some something out of there, like one of those ugly looking bananas that they got in there, and Greek yogurt cup or something. But I'm going to stop and I'm going to find me the best option and I'm going to eat. Those are just non-negotiables for me, because I do not want to put myself in a situation where I get hungry and then I'm going to binge eat, because our habits, our unhealthy habits that we've had over the years, they don't just disappear. They get more quiet. Our unhealthy habits stay with us forever, but they get quiet. But we can trigger them, and then they can come back raging. And I have a history from binge eating, it doesn't go away. It's there, but it's quiet. It doesn't come out much unless I trigger it. So I've got to be very intentional, because if I do not have my food in me, I will trigger it, and I'm going to look for the nearest bag of chips that I can get, and I'm going balls to the wall. If it's sitting on the kitchen floor and just tearing into the chips, literally that's what I would do. And I always have to fight that urge too, if I'm pushing myself on meals too far in between. And that's just something that I have to deal with.